anybody can do just about anything for one day, you know? And then you wake up tomorrow and you just make that a conscious choice again.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us here at the Creative Table. With us today, we have our great friend and fellow creative, Mr. Will Fortanbary, at the table with us. Will is a very talented animator, motion designer, visual effects artist, and does a lot of work with live events as well. He's worked with clients all the way from Chick-fil-A and the NFL to Dude Perfect, and even turned down Nike, which sounds insane, but we'll learn about that as we get into it here. So welcome to the table, Will. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so just for those that don't know you, give us a little rundown of game show introduction of who you are and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we were talking before we started rolling, I'm a freelancer that masquerades as an LLC. So I'm the sole proprietor of Fort Studios. And I do a lot of animation, motion design, everything from explainer videos to just standard animation. And then I also do a lot of content creation for live events. I do some medical animation, just a little bit of everything kind of in that animation, motion design world.
And so how did you get into all of that? I mean, it sounds very focused, which is cool.
Yeah.
Where did you start out at? And how long ago was that?
So, I mean, I started out in high school, so about 12 years ago.
Okay.
Like most kids, I just had a really crappy video camera and I was, filming and editing with it and I loved it. But at one point you want to make your friend's head blow up, right? And so I start looking up tutorials in After Effects and I come across this guy named Andrew Kramer in Video Copilot and who taught, I think, a whole generation of motion designers and After Effects artists. So I started there. I started getting really into that. I went to college at the University of South Carolina with a degree in media arts where I didn't learn too much. I graduated in 3.5 years because it was easy, got a job here working in Atlanta for a studio and realized that I was way out of my league, that my coworkers were way, way more talented than me and I had a ton to learn from. I mean, I'm still pretty early on in my career, so a lot of people are more talented than me, but learning from those guys specifically really early on in my career and my old boss, Jim, just taught me so much about, how to produce good quality work, how to produce it quickly. I have a lot of people. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, really.
That's awesome. So you wanted to make your friend's head blow up, you said.
Yeah.
You had this crappy, what you described as, I guess, this degree that didn't really help you or you didn't learn a lot. You got here to Atlanta. You found out where you really were at in terms of your skill level and whatnot. And you kind of, ate some humble pie, I guess, maybe.
That's a great way to put it.
How did you pick your path and what path did you go down? And how did you start to change your experience and take hold of grab the bull by the horns and wrestle to the ground and do something?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of it for me was coming to the realization that you're not very good, because in college I was pretty good, but I was comparing myself to my classmates who knew nothing about After Effects or animation. And I at least had been doing it for a few years in high school. So when I am out into the real world, right, I realized that I am so far out of my league. So I decided, I asked my coworkers because I don't know what to do. I don't know what I don't know. So I say, how do you get good at this stuff? They say it just takes years and years and years of practice. Well, that answer wasn't good enough for me, right? I wanted to get good really quick and I wanted to shortcut it. Like most people, if you could take a shortcut, you take it.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out a way to shortcut this to get good really fast. And there wasn't a way other than just doing the work. So I decided I would just do all the work really quickly.
Okay.
So I started doing...
and how old were you at this point?
I was probably 22, 23, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah. And so this is about 5-6 years ago. So I just decided I'm just going to start doing tons and tons of projects on my own volition. So if I didn't have work at my day job or if I didn't have any freelance, I was just doing one project a day, every single day, in Cinema 4D and After Effects and Illustrator and Photoshop and all kind of the content creation tools we use now, just to hone my skills and get better and better and better. And boy, did I suck. Oh man, I sucked so hard. But once you got to do a bunch of sucky art to get to the better art later. And so now I'd say my art went from total unusable crap to now it's probably that's usable crap.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Was this an idea you had yourself, or was there someone that kind of said, hey man, this is the way I would do it if I were you, or did you come up with this idea to just start doing these every days?
No, I definitely can't take credit for that. There's a guy on the internet, Mike Winkelman. He goes by Beeple. He's been doing it for over 10 years now, maybe even 11, 12 years.
So he's publishing something every day.
Every day.
For now,
the dude
10
is
years.
a giant. He's a giant.
Spell that for people who want to look him up.
Beeple, Beeple.
Okay.
A lot of the people watching this may even have heard of him. I mean, he's ridiculous. So talented, such a nice dude. I've had
he's in Cinema 4D or what?
He's mostly in Cinema 4D, yeah, but he branches out and does some other stuff every now and again. He kind of picks a theme for the year and goes for it. But he was a huge inspiration for me. And then I also read the book The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. And that's about like, learning how to turn creativity into a commodity, right? Learning how to push through what they call resistance, which can be a number of things. Fight through that so that you can continually be inspired every day to make something new.
So, you jumped in, you started doing the work. How long did that last for you?
I did every days for 730 days.
730 days.
I did, yeah. I did it on my wedding day. I did it every day of my honeymoon because I got married during that time. I did it when I didn't have internet. I did it all the way through.
It's incredible. So your wife, she knew she was okay with the plan?
Yeah, she was okay with it because
honey, I know this is important. We're on our honeymoon, but just a second.
A lot of the times it was just like I'd wake up before her and I'd just get something done really fast. I mean, the ones I did during my honeymoon were not very good. They were just like, throw a cube down. Here's a metal texture. Put it up online. Put it
up. All right.
Yeah, we're done.
Hashtag honeymoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you where did you find yourself at the end of that experience? 730 days in. What was your skill level like? What relationships had you made? I imagine doing something like that. Did it pick up any traction of interest? People started following these online or in your inner circles or? Yeah,
it kind of did. I mean, it wasn't so much about doing stuff for likes or followers or anything like that because I don't really give a shit about any of that stuff. Sorry, I don't want to demonetize you.
No.
But for me, it was more of just like a learning experience and me trying to push myself to learn. And also the act of like finishing something. Because I know a lot of creatives, you can get it to 95, 98, 99%. But the last like half percent of the project, you could work on it for 6 weeks.
Okay.
And John Lasseter from Pixar, he said, we never finish our films. They just get released, right? So it was learning the art and the discipline of releasing something, finishing it and releasing it.
Yeah. So this incredible work ethic, I know that's not, it sounds easier. All of us can sit here and nod our heads like, yeah, we need to do that. That's amazing. I want to learn that. I'm going to do that every day, day in and day out, no matter what, until I get good at that. That's great. But to say that and actually do that are two different things. And where does that drive or that commitment to the grind for you come from? Do you have any idea?
Yeah. And what I'd say to that first too, is like a lot of people, when I finished, they would ask me like, I want to do every days, but I can't do 2 years. I can hardly do a month. Or, hey, I did it for 3 weeks and I missed a day. What do I do? I was like, it doesn't matter. Like it should be fun. It's for you. It's for you. It's not for anybody else. It shouldn't be for anybody else. So like, if you decide to do every days, go do it. If you miss a day, who cares? Just do it again the next day.
Yeah.
It's not about, because if I told you have to do something for 2 years straight, you're like, that's a huge commitment. Yeah. But if I told you, Kevin, it's like, oh, hey, try to do this just today. You're like, okay, anybody can do just about anything for one day.
Yep.
And then you wake up tomorrow and you just make that a conscious choice again. It's never about trying to commit to the long term or something. I never intended to do this for 730 days. I just intended to do it one day at a time. And that's how you have to eat the elephant.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. One bite at a time. Okay, so I understand you're committed to your craft in a way. You're going to knock this stuff out every day and you're going to get better and better and better. And I'm wondering, do you find that something that mentality or that grind or that daily commitment, is that something you only apply to your art or your craft or your work, or do you see that spilling over into other areas of your life, or have you adopted that into other areas of your life as almost a philosophy or a habit because you recognize that it's a great habit to have?
Yeah, I definitely have. I think like for me, I love the challenge. Like I love challenges and I love overcoming challenges. So after I finished art for 2 years straight, a lot of people were like, well, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? And I didn't want to do anything that had to do with art. So I came home one day and I told my wife, like, I'm a vegan now, and I went cold turkey vegan, and I did it for an entire year.
Was that from watching a documentary? Or
no, I just decided I wanted to do it because it's a very tough kind of diet to adhere to, especially in the beginning. And I love barbecue. I still do, right? But like kind of going from eating meat for 20 years of my life, 24 years of my life, and then deciding I'm doing this now, that was kind of like a big step. Finished that for a year. I kind of took a year off, not really doing anything. We moved, we did all sorts of stuff. For right now, what I'm currently doing is I'm trying to run a 5K every day this month. So I woke up this morning at like 5:30 a.m. My friend Rashawn came over and we ran a 5K together this morning from 5:30 to about 6.